Halliburton is raising complaints over a deal made between BP and several plaintiffs. KNOC's DeVry Smothers has more.
Cement contractor Halliburton is objecting to a proposed $7.8 billion settlement between BP and a plaintiffs group representing more than 100,000 victims of the 2010 oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. Halliburton said in a filing in federal court in New Orleans late Tuesday the settlement improperly seeks to assign certain claims that BP has made against Halliburton to the plaintiffs' steering committee. Louisiana lawmakers are weighing whether to use Louisiana's rainy day fund to help fill a $211 million gap in this year's budget. House Speaker Chuck Cleakley said Thursday that he's willing to look at using the money because he's worried that otherwise public colleges and healthcare programs would face deep cuts that could damage services. The state's revenue forecasting panel downgraded income projections this week as income tax collections remain sluggish and below expectations. The revenue estimating conference dropped this year's forecast by nearly $211 million and next year's forecast by $304 million. With thousands of convicted sexual offenders living in neighborhoods across the state and about one-third of them branded as child predators, Representative Ladrika Theory is trying to again create a firewall of sorts that would keep child predators from using computers to recruit young victims. A law authored by Theory a year ago was ruled unconstitutional by a Baton Rouge district judge, and Attorney General Buddy Caldwell's office chose not to appeal the ruling. The new legislation, House Bill 620 by Theory, takes care of the problem that the courts had with the law by limiting the restrictions so sex offenders whose crimes involve using computers to contact children cannot access sites where a user can set up a profile. Shell Oil Company presented a $25,000 check to Sideport in a presentation held at Provençal School. Ann Fumarolo, president and CEO of Sideport, says the money is important for Sideport outreach programs.
We were really excited. We had done outreach in all but 4 parishes in the state of Louisiana for the last 5 years. And with the budget cuts, we lost all of our outreach money. And so when we were talking to Shell and saying how important this all was, they were willing to help in these 4 parishes. It is so important to the students. We've done a lot of different things that have shown test scores improve once Sideport gets involved at the schools, and so we really think that we can be a really good partnership.
Julie Sacco, head of communications for Shell Oil Company in the Haynesville area, states that it's very important for Shell Oil Company to participate in the area that it works in.
So it's very important for Shell to be very active in the communities where we work and where our employees live, and I was very impressed with Sideport and spoke with them and wanted to make sure that if we talked about a possible collaboration, it could be something that could benefit many students and especially the parishes we work in, and this is how that worked out.
Now let's look at our local police reports with DeVry Smothers.
Natchitoches police received a 911 call from Roxanne LaCour requesting an officer out to Abbey Drive in reference to Irvin Remo, who was outside of the residence with a gun making threats to her boyfriend Reginald Banks. Officers report that Banks stated that Remo took $200 from him, and when he confronted Remo, he got upset and came back with a gun. Police also responded to a call from Natchitoches Regional Medical Center requesting an officer out in reference to Darian Edwards getting into a fight at Bourbon Creek. Officer Robertson spoke with Edwards, who stated that on Sunday morning, an unknown black suspect struck him with brass knuckles, breaking 3 to 4 teeth. The suspect then fled in a white Buick Park Avenue, Louisiana license plates TMB 268, occupied by Tommy Lee Jackson and Mariko Stewart. Natchitoches Parish Sheriff's Office arrested Jeremy Graves Friday evening. Graves, a 26-year-old white male, was charged with domestic abuse, child endangerment, and simple criminal damage to property. Graves is currently being held in Natchitoches Parish Detention Center. Police received a complaint in reference to forged checks. Erica Boudouin went to the police station to report the forgery. Officer Lee spoke with Boudouin, who states that someone forged a check in her name for the amount of $3,000. Police received another complaint in reference to forgery. Several checks were written from People's State Bank, according to Officer Lee, who was on call. Police also arrested Micah Millsap yesterday afternoon. Millsap, a 19-year-old black male, was charged with simple robbery. Millsap is to return to court on October 12th.